Hey, happy Sabbath, church. Or, since you're watching this on Sunday, happy Sunday service. For all my believers and heathens out there alike. I wanted to show you one of my favorite creators on YouTube, Adrian Expression, because he's about to go in on Mr. Bishop Lamar Miller Whitehead, long ass name, about, the Brooklyn pastor, in quotation marks, who was robbed for supposedly $1 million of jewelry between him and his wife. Supposedly no one else in the congregation got touched. That's very nice of the robbers, not to ask for the offering plate. But, yeah, the shit's ridiculous. I was going to go over there. I was thinking about even going while church was supposed to be in service, but I don't want to be too disrespectful. And get jumped in the name of the Lord by whoever the fuck he's not hiring no damn security. If anything, the niggas who robbed him is probably low-key his real ass security. Let's be real. This shit wasn't legit. But I wanted to watch this with y'all and comment on some of the fuckery.
Title is exactly what the story is. Like, literally, during a live stream, he was live streaming his sermon or whatever. Gunmen came in there and just robbed his shit. Apparently, he had on, I don't know if it was between him and his wife. Either way.
Just comment real quick. It's very nice of the camera, of the Lord, of whatever force moved that camera so that you wouldn't see his face while he's in the middle of being robbed. It was very nice that someone was considerate enough to do that. I'm just saying.
The jewelry on him or both of their asses amounted to $1 million. I saw somewhere that he had $400,000 of jewelry or some shit. Like, either way, $1 million. They got off with $1 million worth of fucking jewelry.
Yo, how many of your church's building funds would already be complete if they had that $1 million? Like, how many would have your lives massively improved if your pastor said, hey, we got all this money and time money. Let's bless the community. Let's bless, our parishioners. All y'all motherfucking have been testifying about how y'all got financial problems, things that have popped up, medical problems, you can't pay the things, and God came through and you got some tax refund you was able to pay that with. Hey, how about the blessing also come directly from the church too? Instead of just you budgeting for the sake of the rest of your life? But $1 million that they got off in chains on him, which still sounds like some insurance scam shit to me, but anyway.
Now, there's so many things that I want to say, right? And I'm sure that you know that. But we have to just talk about this. Look at this. So this is him just showing off his fucking Rolls Royce, riding around his fucking Rolls Royce, right? Now,
the confetti. The fucking confetti. That's the kind of confetti you launch when your church is willing to pay off your motherfucking son's college tuition, your daughter's fucking grad school tuition and shit like that. Not, like, what is this house? What is this car? What is this ring? What is the confetti?
just keep it up.
This is why niggas don't go to church anymore. This is why niggas said, fuck all that Christian shit you talking about. Unless I'm gonna be fucking next scammer pastor, what do you want me to do with this motherfucking fake?
That this is where his church apparently is. Okay.
How is he sucking this much wealth out of his fucking church? How is he copping all this jewelry? How is he sucking this much wealth? And mind you, my man does have a history of scamming, even more so than your average pastor. Again, I'm a Christian, just so y'all know. I don't hate Christians. I don't hate churches, but you can't be a Christian and just live in delusion and act like niggas ain't talking some real shit when they talk about how many motherfucking scamming ass churches and pastors there are out here.
Apparently, if I don't have this shit wrong. So this is where his church is. Mm-hmm. He's riding around in a fucking Rolls Royce, and they robbed his ass. What?
And mind you, as a New Yorker, that is not, listen, not to speak down on black communities, but that is not the most luxurious, upkept community in Brooklyn, in New York. That is not the area that you expect to get $1 million out of, unless you motherfucking kicking niggas out of their apartments and fucking gentrifying the fucking neighborhood. Otherwise, where is this $1 million for jewelry alone and all the money for the cars and the houses coming from? Mind you, this man, he's cool with Eric Adams too, and was trying to become borough president, like Brooklyn borough president, just like Eric Adams used to be. Sounds like a lot of corrupt niggas who be getting these damn positions over there.
What's more is that, okay, I'm gonna talk about all the facts that we can get to it. This is the lawsuit that he's apparently facing. And this comes from City NYC or some shit like that. Lamar Whitehead, the bishop and leaders of Tomorrow International Churches in Canarsie, is accused of convincing 56-year-old Pauline Anderson to invest nearly her entire life savings in one of his firms, with the promise that he could help her buy a house despite her bad credit history. The court papers say Anderson wrote Whitehead a $90,000. Girl. just dumb shit all around. Anderson wrote Whitehead a $90,000 cashier's check in November 2020 and relied on him to give her $100 monthly allowance to pay for her living expenses, according to the lawsuit.
Yo, so imagine giving someone $90,000, $1,000 of your money, and they tell you in the meantime of them investing your $1,000, you're gonna get a $10 or $100 fucking thing to live off of in the meantime. But $90,000, her life savings. I don't know where she lives at that she can live off the $100 of her own money. But supposedly, dude, only did that for like a month and then dipped it. Like, you'll see. You'll see. If you don't already, you'll see. But this is some evil shit. Like, this nigga's gonna burn in hell. Like, especially for, like, front as a pastor. Never mind, this nigga's also heavily homophobic and heavily fatphobic. And just one of those flexing aspects. Like, this nigga wishes he was Joel Osteen. But he's got all the sense in the world of a fucking piece of shit rubbing 2 cents together. Let's look at this shit.
After months went by in early 2021 without the monthly payments or progress on the home purchase, Whitehead allegedly told Anderson that he was treating her investment as a donation to his then campaign for Brooklyn Borough President. He said he had no obligation to pay it back. What?
That's Joe. This is why scamming shit, especially from people with power, should be treated as, like, damn near murder. He stole this woman's life savings. She has nothing to retire on. And he says he's treating it as motherfucking, it's nothing. It's a campaign donation to a campaign he lost. So it's like, oh, well, I guess I don't have to pay you. Who the fuck would expect a grandmother or someone of 56 to give them $90,000 as a donation? That wasn't even agreed upon as a donation at first. It's not a donation. It was an investment. She was expecting and trusting that a pastor would look after. Anyone in his fucking congregation who hears about this shit and stays, you need to fucking... I was gonna say die. No. You need to fucking decolonize your mind. You need to stop fucking following any cult leader that will fucking be thrown in front of you. You need to use some common damn sense and realize this nigga's scamming you too. To me... We're gonna finish this video, hopefully. But to me, this is all insurance scam fucking fraudery. This robbery of $1 million that he's gonna try and claim in insurance and all that shit is really to cover instances like this where he scammed the fuck out of people and he could pay off whatever he can to stop whatever lawsuits, because she's talking about bringing a lawsuit, and you can stop anybody who's gonna, like, look too deep into your shit and get this nigga hemmed up. And who knows, since he's cool with Eric Adams, although the type of, scamming ass nigga he is, you think Eric Adams would, like, use this as a chance to, like, cut him off and drop him. But who knows what secrets he knows about him. But, I mean, fuck Eric Adams too, because, that nigga, he's shicey, he's dirty, he has a lot of the same energy, but he's just not as, like, blatantly fraudulent, in your face with it as this nigga, motherfucking Whitehead. Pastor Whitehead in this bitch. But I think this is all scam shit. I think he set up this fucking robbery. I think he knows those niggas. He supposedly ran out after the niggas robbed his shit to go see them changing in the car in a Mercedes-Benz. These niggas is robbing this broke-looking church of this rich-ass pastor. That I can believe. But no one's get shot. They only robbed the pastor and his wife. Why did none of the congregation's membership get touched? Because he wants to make sure none of them niggas is involved in actually getting their money back Like, oh, I also got shit robbed, so that money's for us. He's like, no, bitch, this money's for me and my wife. Back the fuck up when I claim this on insurance. That's what all this shit is about. It's him scamming some more money out of whoever he took out the insurance on, and paying off whatever he needs to keep people quiet about these fucking type of things. These people, because if you're scamming old 56, not that old, but if you're scamming someone who's technically a grandmother of their life savings, this is not the first time you've done some evil ass shit like this. Like, he's gone to prison before already for a scam.
Okay, who shared a close relationship with Mayor Eric Adams. this article is so shady. When Adams served as Brooklyn Borough President, didn't respond to a message left with his church on Wednesday. He has in the past served time in state prison following convictions for identity fraud and grand larceny, which I will talk about a little bit later. Of course, he's doing what we expected in his response. He says, her son was a member of my ministry who was removed because he was unintegral. It's a lawsuit because of who I am. Everybody that tried to sue me because of my celebrity status is just going to keep trying.
Because I'm sure this is the way Jesus wants us to talk. I'm sure this is the way Jesus was talking to the Romans in first. These niggas just hate just because of my celebrity status. They see how I'm with the people. They see how the people love me. These niggas be hating. They're vipers. They're hypocrites. They're bitch-made ass niggas. You know how it is. Niggas ain't gonna believe in God when these are the type of niggas that you're trying to uphold as our moral authorities, as the people that we should listen to when they say homophobic and fatphobic, and just more baited ass shit, more mind controlling ass shit, more just like you're going to hell unless you listen to me and give me all your money type shit. Yeah. Listen, I'm a Christian, but if you're gonna be something, you gotta be able to critique, what the fuck you're a part of, and try to either make it better or to move in other areas where more can actually be done and where people aren't trying to defend something that has no interest in being reformed. This abolish the police, this abolish all the churches that are like this, that won't step up and actually give a fuck about people's material conditions and their poverty, and instead will continue to suck money out of poor neighborhoods to make themselves wealthy and to make themselves look flexing and call themselves celebrity status and shit.
And just gonna keep going and trying to do what they do. Anderson, though, is not the first person to accuse him of defrauding them of significant sums of money. In 2016, the New York Post reported that Whitehead still owed money to some conductor for $260,000. It was an unpaid personal loan, I guess. So this is what I said.
This is not the first time, and it won't be the fucking last, especially long he gets away with this. And with Eric Adams there as his buddy, I don't know if he'll actually get to go down for this type of shit.
I'm not going to really read it like that, but there's an article from 2006 that said Lamar Whitehead, 27, of New Jersey, was busted. This is coming from Suffolk Detective Sergeant Stephen Jensen. They charged him with 10 counts of identity theft for allegedly targeting 5 victims in Suffolk County for a total of $250,000. But police were talking about he might have swindled like $500,000 for people taking their identities and shit. So what more is there to say? Like, what more is there to say? What more is there? Like, churches, given my disdain for religion and bullshit, all that shit aside, I think that shit is crazy and stupid, but it is what it is. It has a hold on the world, right? So my views on religion aside, I think that the churches are going to, I don't know, you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that y'all are sucking coin out the community. A lot of churches, obviously not all churches, but a lot of churches suck coin out the community. This is what your church is. This is what your church is. And you're rolling around in a fucking Rolls Royce. You're wearing $1 million worth. Y'all have $1 million worth of fucking jewelry in the church, and y'all fucking congregation taking a bus to fucking church. Y'all congregation can't even. And that's why I saw some people pissed about what I said about Kim Burrell. Bitch, you don't give a fuck about y'all ass. They are rolling around in nice cars, riding up to this church, spitting on y'all.
So, let's go on to ad. Y'all get the basic point. I don't want to make these videos too long and have y'all watching hours of content, because I be stopping this shit way too much. I be commenting. But, bitch, I paused your ad ass. But, yeah, this is the reason why people don't be believing and shit. They call themselves spiritual instead of like, oh, I want to be affiliated with any type of church, or because we're judging the fuck out of motherfuckers. We're telling them going to hell for living their regular old ass lives, and we don't even have solutions for the problems in their lives. We're just saying just trust in God, and yet the people who are supposed to be the representative of God, the people who are supposed to be preaching His word and be a reflection of Him, are fucking scamming. They're fucking doing things to little kids. They're fucking doing all types of shit, being the very worst, and saying that they're your moral authority. And like, them niggas are gonna go to hell for it. A pastor like this is going to hell way before any of the people that condemn him will be going to hell. Because God knows the heart of the people who are just living life trying to make it out here. But the niggas who are out here using His name to fucking bury niggas in debt, to fucking steal their shit, to fucking rob from Peter to pay Paul, them niggas will not be letting the gates. But as long as people continue to just, pay their tithes to churches that they know don't give a fuck about the community, to churches that have more to say about how long it's going to take to pray before we go in and try and preach the community, won't do shit to fucking actually go into these communities and make a difference in people's lives. You want people to come to church? Pay off some of their fucking bills. And no, it's not bribing people to come to church. But actually have something to say about all the shit that's happening in politics and fight for the sake of people. Instead of being against abortion, hey, realize, if you actually open up more in sex education and contraceptives and ways for people to get abortions if they need it, then actually abortions will go down. Because people have more options, they have more opportunities. Most people who get abortions is because they know they don't have what it takes financially to raise a kid, or they're just not in a position in life, again, often doing the finance and capitalism, to take care of fucking either more children or a child in general, regardless of the kids. And especially if you add rape and incest or motherfucking their health into the mix of all that shit. But all this condemnation for people being gay, as if their solution for being gay isn't, pray it away, or we're going to torture you with conversion therapy to stop you from being gay. If you have to torture someone, if you have to use lobotomies and electroconvulsive pulses and all that shit to try and stop someone from being gay, clearly it's not something that God must take as a sin. I don't see no Bible verse where it says, yo, beat that nigga, electroshock that nigga. The most I've ever seen about beating a nigga is train up a child in the way they should go, or spare the rod. And nigga, also you can get rid of that shit too. At most, maybe a tap in the hand, but niggas are dying off of beating their kids for regular children shit, and instead of them actually doing fucked up shit, and then not holding themselves accountable for the ways their kids are turning out. So again, I'm talking way too long. You get the point. Yo, if you go in a church like this, you don't need to be paying your tithe to that church. You need to put your tithe in a church that's actually doing community outreach, is actually caring about people in this community. Shit. Consider, or put that money to some mutual aid programs. Say, yo, this is my tithe, but I feel like y'all are doing the work of God, because Jesus was literally out here healing people way more than He was preaching, and turning 2 loaves and 5 fish into enough to feed a multitude of over 5,000. So I guess outsider telling me to wrap it up with that loud ass noise. So I'm gonna wrap it up again. Happy Sunday service if you're worshiping. But if you're worshiping, consider, what would Jesus actually want you to do? Besides just coming to church, besides just praying and bowing before a pastor who's got all the worst shit to say about everybody else that's not inside the building, how would Jesus actually want you to represent Him? Would it be like homeboy over there, motherfucking whitehead, or would it be like somebody who's actually trying to make a difference for the people who are suffering in the community? Alright. See you, Jerome.